Thanks for watching this interview with Dustin Rudolph, the plant-based pharmacist. You can check out his website and his Facebook page and his book in the description below. I'll leave links. In 5 years of being on this lifestyle, not a lot surprises me, but reading this book, it was a wealth of knowledge, and I read a lot of stuff that I didn't know before, so I highly recommend this book. This is just one snippet that Dustin and I spoke about. If you'd like to watch the entire interview or another topic that we spoke about, you can click on the link to the full interview in the description below. Thank you very much. Another controversial topic of today is oils, is healthy oils, heart-healthy oils, the extra virgin olive oils. Can you explain, if we hear a lot on the news about we should be eating more olive oil, more extra virgin olive oil. One thing that is definitely advocated against in this whole foods plant-based lifestyle is no overt oils. Can you explain why we shouldn't be eating oils?
Well, there are no healthy oils. Oils are all 100% fat, and there's very little nutrition in oils at all. There might be some trace amounts of some vitamins and minerals in there, but for the most part, you're getting pure fat. And that fat lines your arteries and causes clogged arteries and strokes and heart attacks. And just to point out, there's been several studies been done that intervention studies have been testing people, and they'll put the two different groups on the same meal, but one will have olive oil or some other kind of oil, and the other will not have that oil, and that's the only difference. And then they'll measure their blood flow an hour, 2 hours, 3, 4 hours after the meal. And it's been shown that there's about 25 to 30% reduction in blood flow when you consume oil with that meal for up to like 4 hours after the meal. And when you look at some of the population-based studies, the reason why they say olive oil is heart healthy is because the Mediterranean diet has lots of olive oil and they have less heart disease. And I always tell people less heart disease is not the same thing as no heart disease.
Right.
There's a completely different scale there. So when you go from eating a really unhealthy diet like the standard American diet to eating the Mediterranean diet, where there's more fruits and vegetables and more whole grains, and then they have olive oil in there, you've just replaced a lot of that fat, that saturated and trans fat in the standard American diet, with less saturated fat from maybe using olive oil and eating more fruits and veggies. And of course you're going to have less heart disease. So I've actually seen population-based studies where they looked at the standard American diet, they looked at the Mediterranean diet, and then they looked at the Japanese diet, traditional Japanese diet, which is basically no oil and a lot of rice and vegetables and just very little animal products. And the rates of heart disease was, of course, highest in the Americans, standard American diet. And then the Mediterranean diet still had about a 2.5 times increased risk of increased rates of ischemic heart disease as the Japanese diet. And we know that the Mediterranean diet is full of lots of olive oil. So olive oil and other oils are not healthy, and they don't help. They don't improve your health at all. If anything, it's how much can you get away with.
Right. So what it sounds like is it's a sliding scale. In other words, you have on the one end you have the standard American diet, okay, and you give up a little bit of saturated fat and some of the oils, and you get to the Mediterranean diet. Okay, you see healthier than this diet, but as you slide down and as you get rid of more of the oils, it's healthy. It's healthier. Until when you eliminate all oils, it's the healthiest you could possibly be.
Right. And I think the proof is in Dr. Esselstyn and Dr. Ornish's studies on reversing heart disease, because they did a plant-based diet with no oils. Nobody's ever published better results than them in an interventional study for reversing heart disease.
Right. Absolutely. Completely agree.